All right, let's get right into it. What do you think is the single biggest threat to a really high-performing firm? You might think it's a market crash or some new competitor, right? But it's not. It's actually a leader's well-intentioned but totally destructive avoidance of necessary conflict. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. It's a pretty wild idea, isn't it? The thought that your biggest success, your revenue, could actually be a trap. It can completely hide this deep, systemic weakness in your team, a fragility that all stems from one simple thing. You're afraid to have those tough conversations. So let's really break this down. What exactly is this golden cage, and how on earth do so many successful leaders find themselves trapped inside without even knowing it? Well, the root cause is this concept called ruinous empathy. Now, here's the thing that's so tricky about it. It starts from a good place. You want to be a supportive boss, you want to protect your team's feelings, but by dodging that clear, direct feedback when standards are missed, you're unintentionally causing way more damage down the road. And this right here shows you the huge, dangerous gap between what we intend to do and what our actual impact is. You think you're being the good guy, being supportive, but what you're really doing is resetting the bar for everyone to a lower level. Every single time a mistake is ignored, the baseline for what's considered acceptable performance just drops. Now, this avoidance, it's not free, not by a long shot. It comes with a really steep price, what we're calling the fragility tax. So let's take a look at the invoice, shall we? Let's see what this inaction is truly costing your business. First off, there's leader burnout. You know what I'm talking about. You're constantly cleaning up the same mistakes over and over, doing manual labor instead of your real job. Second, your firm's actual value, its cap rate, gets hammered because your business isn't a predictable system. It's just chaos. Third, you turn yourself into a massive single point of failure. The team literally can't function without you stepping in. And finally, that new lower standard we talked about, it becomes permanent.
So, if ruinous empathy is the poison, what's the antidote? Okay, enough about the problem, let's pivot to the solution. It's a framework called radical candor, and it is absolutely the way out of this cage.
Look, this is the fundamental choice you have to make as a leader. Are you going to manage personalities? Because that's emotional, it's inconsistent, and it leads straight to burnout. Or are you going to manage outcomes, which is objective, systematic, and actually builds autonomy in your team? One path creates dependency on you. The other builds a durable, scalable business that can thrive without you. You know, a great way to think about this is that feedback isn't some personal attack. It's the GPS for your entire business. It's just a navigational tool that makes these small, constant corrections to make sure everyone is staying on course. It's not about feelings. It's all about direction and hitting your targets. Okay, so we all agree we need radical candor. But how do we actually do it without creating a bunch of friction and drama? That is where the fact, impact, fix method comes into play. It's a super simple operational script you can start using like today. This is the 5-minute feedback loop. It's designed to be fast and simple. Step 1, identify the specific standard that was missed. No vague stuff. Step 2, address it immediately with the script. State the fact, explain the impact, and work on a fix together. And step 3, this is absolutely crucial, you anchor the whole conversation to their objective KPIs on their scorecard. This takes you and your personal feelings completely out of it. It becomes about the standard, not about you. That 5-minute loop is your tactic for in-the-moment correction. But to really make this a permanent change, you have to build it into your operations. You need a system that turns feedback from some random, stressful event into a consistent, totally predictable rhythm. And here it is. This is the tool that powers that system. This isn't just a fluffy theory, it's a specific, tangible document, the monthly one-on-one feedback template. This thing gives you the structure for every single coaching conversation, making them predictable and way more productive. The structure here is honestly what makes it so powerful. You start with a simple, objective met or missed on their goals. No drama. Then you shift to finding obstacles by asking what system is slowing you down. See how that works? The focus is on the system, not the person. From there, you get into a specific coaching moment and define clear priorities for the next month. This completely changes the game from blaming people to solving problems together. All right, let's bring this all home. I want to be very direct here. If you refuse to hold your team accountable, you don't have a firm. You have an expensive hobby that's paid for by your own exhaustion. It's time to get objective about how you're managing your people. So, First, the absence test. And I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. If you vanished for a month, would your systems let the team self-correct using objective data? Or would the whole thing just fall apart because it completely relies on you to tell everyone when they're off track? Second question, the autonomy check. Have you actually built a feedback system that empowers your team to find and fix their own problems? Or is your ruinous empathy just keeping them dependent on you for every little thing? And finally, the asset validation. Is your firm truly an asset? Or is your high gross commission income just paying for a group of people that, if you're being honest with yourself, you're too afraid to actually lead? At the end of the day, the path forward isn't about being mean or harsh. It's just about being clear. It's about having the courage to uphold the standards that you set in the first place. Correct the standard. Keep the promise you made to your clients and to your team. And build the platform that can actually thrive without you.